Today, I'll be talking about one of humanity's biggest fears.
What? Being broke? Dying? Not a job.
This is a horrifying path that almost everybody will have to eventually face in their life, whether
Facts.
we like it or not. And
But jobs, to me, they're not scary if you're doing like a job that you want to do. Like usually, what I would recommend as your first job is, and this is what I did, I would recommend retail. I couldn't do fast food. I'm not gonna lie. I would not be able to do fast food. And that's just because I love cooking. So me cooking as a job, I wouldn't enjoy it because that's something I like to do on my own time. But retail was fun. You meet a lot of people, and it's relatively easy. But your feet do hurt though. That is one con. Your feet are gonna be hurting.
We don't, but everyone has to get their bread somehow. So we just gotta suck it up and pray that we win the lottery or our parlay hits one day. Because let's be for real, nobody want a job. Like, unless you got real aspirations for a certain type of work.
True.
I think most of us, if given a magical opportunity to get paid however much you get paid now and not work that job again, we would take it.
Okay, I mean, yes, if I got paid how much I got paid now without working, I'd be happy, but I would still want to have a job though, like, or maybe I wouldn't, because I would just get bored of not working. Like all my friends working, what could I do? So, but maybe I would just outlet that to doing other things that like I don't know, maybe I want to get into, like, I want to do some type of fighting class, whether it's boxing, jiu-jitsu, kickboxing, or I think that's the same thing, but I want to do that. So maybe that's how I would spend my time.
Most of us see jobs as a way to get by in life and try to make ends meet. There's no room for you to pursue passions in this economy. You better second guess that art degree and major in business so you can be an executive marketing promoter for $1 billion company. But I digress. I'm just saying, I doubt that is most people.
But okay, sorry for pausing, guys, but to go back on him saying like there's no time for you to do your passions, it's really true. The only time you can really do your passion would be if you work like a 7 to 3. 9 to 5, that's your whole day. You're literally working your whole day. You come home from work, and let's say you're an adult. Say you're 26 with a kid and a wife. You come home from your 9 to 5. If she's working too, she's not really gonna have time to cook. Say you guys get off at the same time. So you go pick the kid up from daycare. Then you gotta go. One of you guys have to go home and cook. Then after you cook, you're gonna have to eat, and that's already 2 hours gone. So right now it's maybe like 8 o'clock, and now that you cooked and cleaned and done everything, now you're tired. So you don't really have time for your own, for what you want to do. But it's, say if you do stay up later, then you'll be tired when you wake up in the morning. It's just a cycle. Like all of this is a cycle. I think the best way for you to be able to, you could say, do everything would probably be like, and you can't even work night shift, because night shift, you're really not supposed to be working night shift. That's when you're supposed to be asleep. That's why they pay you so much. And there's so much more that goes into night shift. That's why it's called graveyard, because the only people that are up are the, okay. All right, let's just get into this video before I go on a whole tangent.
Passions to work at a 9 to 5 at a warehouse lifting boxes. I don't mean any disrespect, but am I wrong? Plus, it's fun being unemployed. As long as you got a roof over your head and don't need to worry about bills, most likely because you still live with your parents, then why would you want a job? That sounds like it's taking away your time from being grandmaster on Rivals and watching reels. Nah, that's too much. But eventually you want to get your own stuff. You know, young boy tickets ain't free. Or life really hits you in the face and now you actually have bills. So eventually we all have to get a job. However, you know what's harder than actually deciding to get a job? Finding one that hires you.
Facts.
I swear you could send 100.
Oh my goodness, there was a point where I was just sending apps, and I was not getting no hits back. And it's just like, there's no way, like, I had the experience, I had the years, why am I not getting a hit back? Or I'll go into an interview, I'll bomb the interview, I don't get a call back. And it's just like, dang, like what is it? Like, I don't even understand.
Applications to 100 different places and all of them will still ghost you. You think with how many job openings you see, the businesses are desperate to find people.
Right.
But nah, it feels like they're posting it as bait just to mess with people or steal your info.
Yeah, I say, it's really them
if
stealing
this is
your
your first job, you're gonna have a harder time because even the quote-unquote entry-level jobs are asking for a qualification of having prior experience. Like, isn't that what this job is for? How is someone supposed to get experience and not be homeless?
Okay, and this is a good trick for everybody who's in high school that might not have any like real job experience. You can put down your like community service, like any volunteering hours that you actually did. You can put that down, and that can be considered job experience, because I did that when I got my first job. But although it was entry level, that also does help. And especially you can bring that as your resume, and they'll look at that and they'll see what you are about. Like I said, resumes are just an intro to you. So it's basically your bio before they get to know you. So I recommend doing that for all my people that are in high school that want to get a job and don't have any experience. You can do that.
Almost every decent paying job requires that. And trying to apply for a job on LinkedIn or Indeed is like sending your application into a...
And if, say, you don't have any volunteering experience or anything like that, just lie. Like, they won't know. But be ready to make up a story for it, though.
I swear none of those people be reading them. You could have the most stacked profile on LinkedIn. You got a bachelor's, master's, discovered the cure for cancer. Then you send in an application for your dream job to your dream company. Then they write back to you saying, we've read your application. Unfortunately, the CEO's daughter has took your position that you applied for, so get the fuck on. Back when I was still applying for jobs, I literally gave up on sending applications on those sites because I'd never get a response back. Like, damn, was my application that bad? Even when your application does get noticed and you get set up for an interview, you still gotta go through some more bullshit ass questions.
That's
Why
true.
did you choose our business? Y'all hiring. Like, what's up? What is your main motivation to get your work done?
Okay, when people ask you why did you choose this business, what would I say? Nobody's really ever asked me that. But I would just like, let's say it's a retail job, for instance. Oh, I like, and this is my entry level. This is me saying entry level things. I just, I really like clothes, and I'm into clothes, and I feel like me working here would help me expand my knowledge on clothes and being able to dress people. I'm very organized, so just something like that. And then what did you say?
Money. What else am I here?
What made you want to pick this job? If that's what you said, then it would be the same. Like, you can say the same thing, just mix in different words.
Where do you see yourself in the next 5 years?
You can say, where do I see myself in the next 5 years? I see myself hopefully moving up in this company, and just something like moving up. Or you can say like, oh, I see myself, if you're in high school, I see myself graduating college and using this as a way to not only fund something that I want to do, but blah, blah, blah. Just something like, just make up something. The 5-year question is so stupid.
That's just me being honest with my answers. What do you want me to do? Work here for the rest of my life? This is a Wendy's. So you gotta lie with any question they ask.
Literally.
You have to make yourself look as good as possible. So
Literally.
You gotta fake it till you make it. Even if they asked you a stupid question like, would you still work this job even if there was no pay? You say absolutely. I always wanted to be a slave.
Right, of course I'd work this job. Just even getting the experience of working here would just fulfill me, and I know that I could use this experience to go as I move up in the company to have more knowledge and understanding of everything. That would kill. That would kill.
Congratulations, you have successfully become employed. The end of your life starts Tuesday. After starting a job, I feel after the first week, you can find out whether you like it or quit it the next month. And it won't be the job itself to motivate this decision. It's your boss and coworkers.
Jiggle my balls.
They can make or break this whole thing. If you happen to get a chill boss and coworkers you can vibe with, that's amazing. That's how my last real job was. I used to be a waiter for weddings and other events. That job low-key had me stressing because I wasn't good at the start. I was awkward taking orders. I would mess up orders. And one time I even dropped a whole tray of food I was carrying at the wedding. Best believe I didn't get tips that day.
Okay, no, having cool managers, it makes the job. I think every single one of my jobs, except for, except for my most recent job before the one that I'm at now, all of my managers have been really, really cool. But when you have bad managers, but the worst thing is when you go from a very professional setting to something that's not professional, and the adults that are managers are not acting like professionals, they're acting like kids. That is the worst. That's what happened at my last job. They just were not being they just weren't being how adults should be. They were very gossipy, very messy, and it's just like, I had to look at them like, why am I being more mature than you? Why do I know how to talk to somebody more than you do? And it honestly baffled me, and I don't hate a lot of things, but I hated that job. I couldn't wait to leave that job.
get me kind of jealous is that some of my coworkers would walk out and carry 2 trays full of food on one shoulder. Like, damn, bro, are you Samoan? Those trays are mad heavy and so out of balance. But you know what kept me going? It was the fun time I had with my coworkers and boss. They were cool as hell. We had a carpool to get to the events. It was always a vibe and a good time. They made my experience.
I know a couple of people that had that type of job.
And walking out of it happy. One day I clocked in for a double shift for a wedding and a sweet 16 at 9:30 a.m. and clocking out at 1:30 a.m. Granted, I was dead after that shift and had to take off my shoes more than once. But I got $60 worth of tips and went to Wawa after work, so I felt like Gucci. And I believe I only felt like this because the environment I was around was nice. Sometimes. I've had to serve some aggressive people at some points.
Yeah, it's my birthday today. What can I get out here for free? You a bitch.
If I had trash co-workers or a trash boss, I would have not stayed at that job for long. I have zero patience for bullshit. Literally. Like example, the first job I've ever had in my senior year of high school, I was a janitor at a warehouse. I had no co-workers, so I had nobody to talk to.
Dang.
And my boss was not a bad person, but a bad boss. I'd be working shifts that were 2 to 3 hours every few days, cleaning the break rooms, hallways, and bathrooms. So my pay wasn't even that good, but since I was still in school, I was just thinking, I'm making money and I got more time to study and goon. That sounds like a win-win. But when
I don't really remember me getting my first paycheck. I think it had to have been like $400 or $500, but that was a lot to me. I couldn't believe it, but I think I was like, there's no way I just did all that for this much money. But hey, when it started racking in, it was racking in. And when they started giving me more hours on the, but the one thing that I hated was when that they gave me like 8-hour shifts on the weekend. Oh my gosh, that would break my heart. And it's like my whole weekend is gone because I gotta work. Oh, I hated that.
They arrived, I would only be paid for half the hours I worked, sometimes less. I was already barely working as is, combined with a salary of $13 an hour, cleaning up pee-pee and poo-poo. Man, I'm not taking it. Plus, he only paid me through Cash App. You've ever had a job that only paid you through Cash App?
No, paying through your Cash App is insane.
I only worked there for a few weeks. He did pay me the rest of the money after, so he cool, but man, warehouse jobs are not it. My patience dwindled faster when I got accepted at BJ's, and I worked there for 1 day. I asked to go to the bathroom and left during orientation. I discovered they weren't what they advertised. How you gonna call yourselves BJ's without expecting people to have certain expectations?
Man, what?
Advertising. So I left. That wasn't really the reason. I just didn't want to work in the freezer. That's when I started my waiting job, then YouTube, and now here I am. Unemployed since.
Right, with
I'm just saying I can understand the struggles of looking for...
With 2.38 million subscribers. Shout out to the generosity.
And having a job. Man. Especially the ones you only take to make ends meet. And the unemployed life can be really fun when you have stuff to fall back on.
That's
if
true.
not, it will only be short-term satisfaction. Eventually, you have to get a career, deal with any of the shortcomings of it, and do that for the rest of your life. The American dream! So when looking
That's why I
for
need to get out of this
job,
contract.
make sure to get one that you like if you have the privilege to do so.
True.
That's all I really wanted to say. And in conclusion, enjoy unemployment while you still can. Different stroke.
You know, I never, even when I lost my job, I never got unemployment, but that's another story. I hope you guys like this video. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Tell me what you guys' first job was, whether you were a teenager or a kid. I mean, I don't know. It don't matter. Just let me know down below. I'll see you guys in the next one. All right, y'all. Peace. Road to 500. Almost forgot again. All right, y'all. Peace.